Welcome everybody to AlexandNav.com, where we're going through the best of video games 2015, and we've come to the best game on a last-gen system that came out this year in 2015.
This is very confusing for everyone involved.
Alright, got it.
Yes, it came out last gen. Alright.
Came out on the Xbox or PS3
Yes.
this year.
So, we have...
Go!
Yeah, we have a lot of games that came out for back systems. So we had, like, Taken King came out for the PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and the PS3. So
yeah, everything's like a dual-gen game on this list, I think, for the most part.
WWE 2K. So you might have played it on a current gen, but, you know, if you don't have the current gen system, we're looking out for you guys. We're going to tell you what the best is that you can kind of get your hands on. And a good experience that I had this year was Taken King. I felt like if you had a last-gen system, I mean, you're going to get a quality, awesome shooter. And you're going to get a great story and great gameplay on that as well.
Yeah.
How much does the quality of software playing on the actual last gen?
I think it's just visual. I think everything else is going to be really
textures and stuff
the same. So
frame rate.
I know, like for MLB The Show, there's only certain things you can do in the current gen, things you can't do on last gen.
That is a good point. Because
WWE has the same
I didn't
problem.
know if there's some restrictions for any of those games you're mentioning.
Taken King, no. But I didn't mention it, but Call of Duty, you only get multiplayer on last gen. You don't get the story on last gen.
How weird is that?
It's super crazy.
That's very weird.
So, Call of Duty off the list.
Yeah, and WWE has, like, obviously graphics, but the gameplay is a much faster paced gameplay. It doesn't have a lot of the same flow and stamina system and stuff that the next gen versions have.
Gotcha.
It plays much like the old games, and like it almost like it never transitioned to this new generation.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a weird thing.
Yeah, dude. So maybe there is a little bit of the suffering. I know Taken King hasn't suffered, so because
you are all suffering on next gen, with those antiquated systems they have to build for the old gen, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
One game that I think is really cool that we don't talk about a lot, I talked about it once on a podcast, is the Transformers Devastation.
Yeah.
And that is actually a really solid Transformers game. If you're into Transformers, that's a pretty cool game. It was like a budget title, but it felt like a fully fleshed out game from the people that made Bayonetta. I don't know if you guys played that. It's a game that
that you love.
I love to play at some point without just like in a room by myself. But this had that same style gameplay, but it captured the Transformers cartoon so well. If you love Transformers cartoons, this is the game for you. It's exactly like the cartoons.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
And there's like this depth to this game that no one would understand. Like you level up your guys, you find loot, and you find different weapons, and they're different like rarities, and I don't know. It's a simple fighting system in a Bayonetta style with loot and shit. It's weird.
And it held up on last gen.
And it held up on last gen perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was just a cell shaded game.
Man.
Kind of like Tony Hawk.
Except it did it right. Unlike Tony
Yeah.
Hawk did it. And then we also had just recently announced Yakuza 5 came out on the PS3. It was downloadable only, so you couldn't go out and buy the disc. But dude, the Yakuza series close and near and dear to my heart, dude.
Ditto right here.
So is that the only game that's on this list that was only available on last gen and not available on current gen?
Yeah, I mean that we put together.
On the list that we have, okay.
There might be something that we're missing, but of games that we thought mattered.
But that were good, though, yeah.
Yeah, like Yakuza is definitely probably the biggest name on this list. And it just came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. You like pachinko? If you don't, you're gonna like pachinko.
Do you like martial arts?
Yeah, I like some martial arts.
Do you like girls in like clubs like Japanese style?
Sure.
You like
Love
karaoke? You like dancing?
Sometimes.
It's got it all.
Yeah.
It's everything.
It's a mix.
Kung fu, and it's got some of the coolest details, like little details. Like they're not visually mind blowing, but just like the little details, like chicken wings inside buckets and like stuff like that, just sitting in there. And like when you look at the storefront, it looks almost identical to what you would see like if you're overseas. Like it's just that's what I always loved about those
It's a
games.
Japanese
like,
life simulator essentially.
Oh,
yeah,
those are fun.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like it has that Shenmue level of
Yes.
intricacy, but not as so much the depth. Like I guess it has a lot of depth, but it's just not as mundane and has more fighting.
It's not begging you for money at conferences. It's already got it. It's coming out.
Yeah, it's not begging you for money 6 different ways to Tuesday.
Very kind of them.
Yeah.
So now that I think about it and reflect on it, dude, I'm because Taken King is all over the place, and you can get it on a current gen. Dude, the only one you can't, like, Yakuza is so good. Like, the Yakuza series is so good, and this Yakuza 5 doesn't take a step backwards, it takes a step forward.
It gives you a reason to actually play your PS3.
Boot it up, yeah, and, like, it gives you a reason to, check it out.
If you get Destiny, you're going to want to play them.
This is a game that I would happily buy an HD remake of, so I don't have to break out my PS3. Like they could have, they could have like HD remake this and put it on the PS4, and I would have been totally cool with it.
Yeah.
Because I never played it on the PS3, and like because it just came out here, and I would have been okay.
Even if they would have put it on the PS4, like just to download in its current state.
Oh, let me stream it on PlayStation Now. That would have been cool. I would have fucking done that.
Yeah. What are you guys thinking, man?
Made a mistake. You made a mistake, but you made a pretty game.
So best game in the last gen system this year. I'm saying Yakuza 5.
I'm 100% saying
I'm in
Yakuza
agreement.
5.
Yakuza 5 it is. There
Yakuza
you go.
5.
If you like karaoke, dancing, and girls in Japanese stores, right? Is that what you said?
I don't know. Isn't there like a thing where you go like hostess clubs? Hostess clubs.
Hostess
Is what I'm talking.
clubs.
It's like this weird thing that Americans they had to take out of the American version of one of them.
Then you're
put it back in. So
then you're gonna like
ready to get
AlexMav.com's best game on a last gen system that came out this year, Yakuza 5 on the PS3. Check it out, and thank you guys so much for joining us.